Hello, student orgs. My name is Olivia Riggs, and I am the co-executive director of Mental Health Resources. Welcome to the Mental Health Awareness Training. Today, we'll be covering 7 topics, starting with what is mental health and ending with resources at UC. To begin, what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. After defining what is mental health, why is it so important? We have some statistics here that show 1 in 4 young adults are diagnosed with a mental illness 18 or older within a given year. That is an estimated 11,600 UC students. 1 in 12 college students make a suicide plan. That is an estimated 3,866 UC students. Between the years 2015 and 2016, there was about a 10% increase of college students reporting serious thoughts of suicide. It is important to understand the impact mental health can have on people, and especially our age group here at UC. The more we educate ourselves, the better we can support our fellow Bearcats. But there are some challenges with spreading the importance of mental health awareness in our current world and here at UC. It's dissolving the negative stigma surrounding mental illnesses and the utilization of counseling and psychological services. UC Campus Life did a survey of mental health at UC, where 83.5% of UC students felt extremely overwhelmed, 48.7% of UC students felt overwhelming anxiety, 29.3% of UC students felt so depressed it was difficult to function, 4.9% of UC students reported intentionally cutting, burning, bruising, or intentionally injuring themselves, and 4.9% of UC students seriously considered suicide. We wanted to share these numbers with you because if you relate to any of these statistics, understand that you are not alone. Now we will go into the 5 signs of possible emotional or behavioral distress, starting with thought patterns and logic. Examples can be expressing racing and disconnected thoughts, expressing bizarre ideas, or responding to unusual voices or visions. Our second category is affect and mood, where one may appear sad and depressed or highly spirited. They may even switch emotions abruptly or become easily overwhelmed. Next is cognition. One may have gaps in memory or appear confused, disoriented to person, place, or time. Our fourth category is speech. One may speak too quickly or too slowly, missing words. They could be stuttering or have long pauses in speech where they usually don't. Finally, our last category is appearance. One's hygiene may be low, they appear disheveled, and just not present as their usual selves. These are just 5 observable categories for signs of possible emotional or behavioral distress. What we want you to take from this is to recognize the signs and continue to check in on your fellow Bearcats. Now that we have just talked about what is mental health and why is it so important, now let's switch gears to talk about what is mental well-being. Mental well-being is more than the absence of mental illness. It is more than the feeling of happy. It is the ability to cope with the day-to-day stresses of life, work productively, interact positively with others, and realize our own potential. I want you to think about the routines you do to help cope with your day-to-day stresses, whether it's self-care, working out, or being outside. We all strive to be 100% ourselves day to day, but it's important to remember not every day will be 100%, and practicing ways of mental well-being can help keep your glass full rather than continuously depleting. Now that you have just thought about ways you cope with your day-to-day stresses, we have found some ways to help improve and support your path of mental well-being. Starting with connect. Be present, talk, and listen. Feel connected to whatever environment you are in. Give. Use your time wisely and make sure it is impactful for you. Your time is valuable, so is your presence. Take notice. Remember the simple things that give you joy. I know for me that is music. Whether it's just sitting there and listening to it, I can automatically feel my mood shift. Keep learning. Find and embrace those new experiences and opportunities. This will allow you to continue to surprise yourself and push your potential. Finally, be active. Do what you can. Don't push yourself too hard. It is important to find passion in everything you do and make sure you enjoy it. Now that we have talked about what is mental health and the ways to mental well-being, let's focus on the resources we have here at UC. Our first resource is the UC Mental Health Crisis Care phone number. The phone line is open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Our second resource is UC CAPS, or the Counseling and Psychological Services. The crisis helpline is open 24/7, and they have the Let's Talk for Confidential Conversations on Campus link. They are also offering telemental health and virtual counseling. Our third resource is the Student Wellness Center. It provides evidence-based education, inclusive resources, and non-judgmental support to empower students to make informed decisions regarding their health and wellness. Our fourth resource is the African American Cultural Resource Center. It is a model for cultural and racial understanding in higher education. The weekly student events that they offer is the Woke Shop and the We Got Us. Our fifth resource is the Crisis Assessment Response Evaluation, or CARE team. They respond to reports about students whose behavior is raising concerns within the UC community. Not only do we have on-campus resources, we have apps. This provides students different channels to resource their mental health if they maybe do not feel comfortable going to in-person counseling or don't know where to start. First, we have the Reach Out app. It provides available mental health resources, tips on how to talk with others about mental health, and the contact information for crisis services. The second app we have is the Therapy Assistance Online. It provides online and mobile tools to help you overcome the day-to-day challenges and stressors. These apps are available both on iOS and Android. Maybe the previous mental health resources weren't for you. Not only do we have on-campus resources, we have these great student-led organizations that focus on awareness of mental health and ways to mental well-being. These organizations allow students to join. They may have different mission statements, but they have the same overall goal of supporting their Bearcat community. Their contact information is on the slide, but you can also check out campuslink.uc.edu to find out more information on these organizations by searching their names. Thank you for completing this awareness training. You will receive a completion certificate through email on behalf of the student government with the approval from UC CAPS and the Wellness Center to show that you understand what mental health is, its importance, ways to mental well-being, and resources we have here at UC. The better equipped we are on mental health awareness, the closer we get to dissolving the negative stigma surrounding mental illnesses and the utilization of counseling and psychological services. If you have any questions about the awareness training or resources, please feel free to reach out to SAB at sabuc@mail.uc.edu. Thank you.